What's going on, everyone? It's the conclusion of the prelims. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to World Combat Sports. Jesus Ramos just picked up his 12th victory by defeating Abanov, who was 16-1, who now is 16-2. He was just taking too much punishment. He was just taking too much punishment, to be honest. I want to give a shout out to Dion Nichols, who picked up his 13th victory tonight. He's out of, Team Bomb Squad over there in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, man. Very tough cruiserweight. If you don't know him, you will. If you didn't watch his fight, be sure to catch the replay of Dion Equalizer Nicholson. Very tough fighter. He went in there and had a close quarter firefight with his opposition. And it could be potentially the fight of the night candidate. Back and forth action, exchanges. I'm talking about they were standing in the pocket and trading. This is what you look for in the heavier weight classes. You just don't get it most of the time because that's where the power's at. You know what I'm saying? That's where the power's at. And we know cruiserweight resides just below heavyweight. So it was an exciting fight, man. Salute and congrats to Dion Nichols, Equalizer. You know what I'm saying? Getting that victory tonight. If you didn't see ahead of time, you need to make sure you check out JD's, who now has his judging license in Mississippi. So he is the champion trainer of WBC crown holder Deontay Wilder. You see him sitting ringside with the gray suit on with the red tie. Salute to JD's, man. They have a big fight coming up February 22nd in a rematch against Tyson Fury. Those of you that's tuned in, 84, appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in, no doubt. Now we're about to start the prelims, everybody. We're about to conclude the prelims. Easy win, a shutout by Jesus Ramos, proving his record of 12-0. And next we have the main card on Fox 1 PBC, Premier Boxing Champion. Ugas and Dallas Jr. is the main event in the welterweight class, 147-pound division. And the good thing about it is that Ugas has already said he want to fight Spence, when he wins. So is he looking past Dallas Jr.? Absolutely he is. He's looking past his opponent tonight. It's a slight disparity in experience between these two. You know what I'm saying? But not that much. But I'm pretty sure Yordenis has been chomping at the bit to get in there with Errol Spence after the fight that he had with Sean Porter. Okay, I'm talking about Ugas, right? So his fight with Sean Porter, everybody thought that he did pretty decent against Sean Porter. He fought tall, and he really had Sean Porter keeping his distance from the taller game, Yordenis Ugas, right? But then too many people give him the respect. They pretty much thought Sean Porter was just fighting for the night to make sure he make it to the big fight in Errol Spence Jr. Now that fight is concluded and Errol Spence was able to drop Sean Porter in the 11th round and earn a UD, now Yordenis won his shot. You know what I'm saying? He's, if he wins this, he won his shot at Errol Spence, like everybody else. Terrence Crawford won his shot. Manny Pacquiao, shoot. Kell Brook. It's so many people want Errol Spence Jr., who is now the unified champion, IBF and WBC welterweight champion. So, of course, people want to step up to Spence and get that work. It's going to be a good fight, though. They're showing him and Sean Porter right now. I like that. That was a good fight. It's funny, when I was in Texas, right, that's when Sergey Kovalev was fighting Alida Alvarez. And Teofimo was fighting that weekend, too. Teofimo was fighting Diego Magdaleno. And I was in the elevator with Yordenis Ugas, man. Very sharp-dressed individual. Anytime you see him, he's dressed to impress, man. And usually with his girl, You know what I'm saying? But he's like out roaming around all the time. Very cool dude, you know. And he just happened to be in get off the elevator with me and him and Sergey Kovalov and Buddy McGirt was in the elevator. And I wanted to try to get like an interview with Sergey Kovalov, but he said, um, turn the camera off. No camera. So I just wanted to ask him, but I don't know if he was feeling some type of way because he was close to he hasn't weighed in yet. But yeah, I had a moment with Sergey Kovalov on the elevator where I wanted to talk to him, about his fight and having Buddy McGirt in his corner for the first time. And he said I couldn't record it. I think it would have been a classic, you know what I'm saying? Because I had some, one-on-one time with the Crusher, but he wasn't having it, man. So I respected his wishes, you know. He's not the first. I was in the elevator with Terrence Crawford. I got that on video, but I haven't even posted it. Like, I think I did post it. He didn't have nothing to say. I was like, what's going on, champ? What's up, Crawford? That was before he gave me the interview, though. Crawford has to warm up to you. Crawford just don't give you that airplay. Crawford makes you earn that. He makes media earn it. Unless he really knows you or whatever the case may be. He'll keep it moving. That's him and Beau Mac. But it was cool to finally get an interview with him. I'm looking forward to the next one, though. So who we have? Anthony Narell and Keith Thurman is commentating tonight. The only thing I can say about that is Keith Thurman is pretty thorough when he want to be with ringside analysis. Anthony Narell's pretty straight too. Keith Thurman 29-1, 22 knockouts, and we all know what that one loss who it came to. Came by way of Manny Pacquiao. Took his WBA super title. Yordenis Ugas 24-4, age 33. I know he want that title shot. He's 33 years old right now. He want that title shot. I don't blame him. See what Anthony Narell talking about? Two-time WB super middleweight champion, record 33-2-1, 24 knockouts, and he is also a 2004 Olympic bronze medalist. A lot of people don't know that about Anthony Narell. Mike Dallas Jr. 23-3-2, 11 knockouts out of Bakersfield, California. I'm just curious to see what this guy has on display, man. Yeah, I know, man. D Hodges say, damn, I don't know none of these people on the card, but Ugas, his name Ugas, Ugas. Ugas is a straight up professional though. Ugas. Ugas said he's one of the top welterweights in the world. He's ready, and we're going to see some of that tonight. She asked, is it any pressure for Ugas to put on a superb performance, being he is seeking that championship stage? And one thing about Ugas, he speaks English, but he has an interpreter up there. Ugas say he proves he's one of the top welterweights. He say no pressure in putting on a great performance tonight. Hodges, I have to agree with you on that night that Ugas was, um, in my opinion, much more active. He was pressuring the fight. We did not see the Sean Porter that fought Errol Spence. I believe that night that Ugas was a taller fighter. He used his range well, and Sean Porter didn't present any type of freaking danger to Ugas that night. Like Ugas was coming forward, he was landing on Porter. He didn't show like he was a little bit skeptical about close and distance. He landed some solid shots on Porter that night, and it was one of Porter's worst performances. You know what I'm saying? When it came down to him looking the way he did, it just really wasn't what we expected from Porter. Like I look at the Danny Garcia fight, vice to Yordenis Ugas, and I think he looked better in Danny Garcia fight. But you know what boxing is? Boxing is all about different looks. Not going in there looking the same. So I would give him that credit. I mean, Sean Porter and him and Kenny Porter having a game plan to fight that offensive strategy as Errol Spence was on the horizon, for that title shot. So I'm really not gonna put too much blame on Sean Porter because he a dog, man. Sean Porter is a tenacious athlete. He has that grit. He has that dog in him. So he just had a very lethargic fight plan when he stepped in there against Yordenis Ugas. Period. He beat Porter, in my opinion. He landed cleaner punches. It's about styles. Absolutely. And you know what? What Sean Porter did show us, Hodges, is that he is able to switch his style up. If you look back at Sean Porter when he fought Julio Diaz, he fought differently. He tried to box, and then after that, he switched it up to like the brawling Sean Porter, the grimy chest to chest, close quarters distance fighting Sean Porter. Then we saw him be selective when he fought Danny Garcia. When he chose to go in there and knock on the door, he did. But besides that, he kept his distance. He was able to box Danny Garcia a little bit from the outside, stay out of the range of Danny Garcia's right hand, and you got to give it up to him. A brilliant fight plan for a fighter like Danny Garcia who just didn't do enough to earn the respect of Sean Porter. That's just my opinion. He just didn't do enough. Out of Mexico, he's 19, 18, and 1. I'm surprised they have fighters like this on the main card. Real talk. 19, 18, and 1 with 12 knockouts. I'm very surprised that this guy is on the main card. And Dion Nichols fought Newman. Okay, now we have Omar Juarez. He's 6-0, 4 knockouts, fighting out of Texas. And they say he graduated high school at age 16, so he's a young warrior on the come up. But we have a 6-0 fighter going up against a 19 victories and 18 losses, Juarez rather. And I'm asking myself, why is this on the main card? I remember, it has to be the promotion. It has to be the people that's behind him pushing this kid. Because how many losses do you have to have? I mean, to be on the undercard. I mean, they picked this guy to come on deck on the main card live with 18 losses. That's boxing, though. Okay, if it wasn't for the kid, he did well against Spence. The knockdown. Yeah, he did do well. And you know what? If it wasn't for the knockdown, I had Porter winning that fight. Seriously, I don't care what nobody say. Porter, when he won the rounds, it was definitive. But some of those swing rounds, we wasn't sure Porter or Spence won the fight. But you make a good point with that. I'm hard to say, but give them a chance. They might be good. I mean, they might be. I mean, you talking about two Mexican fighters. You know what I'm saying? One from Mexico and the other one hailing out of freaking Texas. You know what happened when two Mexican fighters get together? They try to crush each other's spirit. Juarez, he kind of remind me of Vito Melnecki, graduating high school this year out of Roseland, New Jersey, and well, he got some pop to his punches. Okay, I see you. Juarez got a little pop to his punches. I see you. Yeah, I understand. You said Ugas versus Dallas. That's why. Yeah, I feel you on that, man. No one wanted to be on that card. Hey, Dion Equalizer Nichols was on that card, man. He improved his record at 13-0. I'm just curious. I mean, he fought a tough opposition too, man. He fought a real tough dude. Oh, he just texted me, Dion. I told him congrats on the win. He said, thanks, brother. I appreciate it, my man. That's good, man. Congrats on the victory. Still undefeated. You know what I'm saying? Wishing them but the best with Equalizer because he was out of the sport for close to a year. He had to take care of some stuff or whatever, but he's back now. I think this is his second victory since he's been back off that year. So Juarez Martinez, 8-round affair. Martinez doesn't look like a slouch. Juarez is not able to really dominate his position right now. That's the first round. And I really couldn't tell you, any significant damage. He landed a nice hook. But hey, if the check was right there, Hodges, if the check was right for them to be on the card, man. Shit, the check was good. They better buckle up and get on deck. So Dion Nichols proved a 13-0. He fought Earl Newman, who was 10-1-1, 10-2-1. He was actually the hometown fighter, very respected, tough guy. He's 10-3-1 right now. Just took that L to Dion Nichols, who's approved a 13-0. So this is his third straight loss, though. So at one point in time, he was probably touted just like a lot of boxers doing the right thing. We don't know, but the good thing is Nicholson. He's 29 years old, so he has a good amount of years left to really make a championship run, especially with Alexander Usyk now in the heavyweight division, the former undisputed champion at the cruiserweight. Those belts will become fragmented and dispersed amongst the division. So we look forward to seeing that. But back to the fight. These two are going back and forth. Really no real damage. The more technically sound fighter is Juarez. I'm pretty sure there's some individuals on deck eating a nice little hot dog right now with a Dr. Pepper doing this fight, grabbing the popcorn. Plenty of seats. I might just lead I might lead this podcast and freaking join the fight myself There's plenty of seats open. You know what I'm saying? I'm, I might just go up there and get me a freaking hot dog, man. Enjoy the fight. Get me some freaking. Okay, I thought Juarez had scored a knockdown on Martinez, but the ref waved it off. The one and only, the man himself, Bill Clancy, is the third man in the ring. Good dude, man. Yeah, Juarez is basically winning majority of the rounds. This is the second round. He won in the first. He won the first easy, and the second one, even though Martinez is game, he just doesn't have enough pop on the punches, man. You can tell that experience coming in with 19 victories, 18 losses. He has experience. Look how he's fighting on the inside, dirty boxing on the inside. He getting warned by Bill Clancy though, because he hit behind the head. But that dirty boxing on the inside, that works if you keep the punches on the side. You know, you're good. To the body. Juarez being a little cautious, doing a little feint, posing. I like the step in jab to the body from Martinez. Okay, he slipped that punch by Juarez, who kind of came over the top wildly with a right hand, or overhand right, and missed. Martinez off his back foot, comes in with a 1-2. No effect, really. Juarez just taking his time, posing, not too much action. He's trying to catch Juarez coming in, then finish the round with a 1-2 combination. That's the way you do it. Nice way to seal up that round. I like how he pushed off like that. He just shouldn't have pushed him again. He should have just landed that overhand left. He pushed him off with his right forearm, and he could have came over the top with the left, but he did a little bit extra, and the ref called it a push instead of a knockdown. Hey, man. Deion Washington, man. Shout out to Deion Washington out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama, man. You know, the fighter won. Deion Nicholson won tonight. I know Alabama up, standing up. You know what I'm saying? Hands together, clap it up. The equalizer got his 13th victory. Shout out to you. He said, "What up, Scotty? I'm in here for you, with you. I appreciate it, bro. Always support. You know what it is, man." Hard to say, look at Porter versus Ugas. You could have paid for a nosebleed seat and sat ringside. For sure, man. That's what usually happens. You pay for a nosebleed and then you creep on down to freaking ringside. If you catch your security slipping, I'm not gonna give away what you know the shots I got a Deontay Wilder coming out the tunnel. Man, my seat was way far from, but I made it down to where I wanted to be and just stood there. So we're in the third frame of an 8-round fight, a super lightweight 140-pound division. The more technically sound and effective fighter is indeed Juarez. You know, very young fighter they're pushing. He's 6-0. Obviously, he on the main card, so they pushing this guy. He's in there with the very experienced opposition in Martinez. The percentages is just, I like how he stepped in with that double left hook. And man, you can tell Martinez got some dog in him. Like Martinez has been in the corners of Mexico fighting. When you fight him on the inside, he giving you the energy. Martinez is giving him the energy that he's looking for on the inside. So you're just not going to hold me up against the ropes. That's what you get for them tough Mexican fighters, man, who's been in the gutter, who's been in the hole in the walls, been fighting in closets. You can't corner them and think they're going to lay down. Nice triple jab by freaking Martinez. I like that. Okay. Angel. Overhand right by Martinez misses. I can see a trend. I can see a trend, though, in how Juarez steps in with the left. He's not setting it up. If you're going to step in with that lead left hook, he need to set it up with something. Man, what was that? Somehow Martinez stepped in and his glove touched the ground. I don't know if it was water. Okay. Juarez just stepped in with an overhand right, followed up with a left. Solid. Martinez can't land. Yeah, he's trying, but he just can't commit. He's not committing to taking that punishment because a stronger fighter is Juarez, though. It's a pretty decent fight. You know what I'm saying? Boxing Conversation with Reggie Owens, man. Hey, shout out to Boxing Conversation. Make sure you follow Reggie Owens. Real talk. He has some very solid quality boxing content over there, man. It's been a minute since I've seen you, but the good thing about it, I do tune in to some of your podcasts, though. So, man, keep on doing what you're doing, man. I appreciate the support. Yeah, hard to say good three-piece. Absolutely. He did finish the round, man. Tied that up real nice. He's ahead easily in this fight. Much more the stronger fighter. You can tell by the size difference. This is round 4 of 8. Now, Juarez is stepping in with his hands up, doubling up on the jab to the body. Before I was telling you how he was just stepping in with that left hook. He switched it up now to begin the round. He had the earmuffs on a little bit. Now he's just going back to like, okay, let me give him some different looks. Let me give him some feints. Martinez's game, though, he just don't have enough output. Double up on the jab, but that was on the outside of Martinez's glove. That was on the outside of Juarez's glove. Oh, nice shot. Juarez returning. I like this in fighting right here. I like this close quarters fighting every time Martinez get up against the ropes. I like that. But he may get knocked out if he doesn't put his hand back, doesn't get his hand back up to block those shots that's incoming from Juarez. Both fighters are flat-footed, right now. A lot of posturing going on. Juarez is really not gathering any data when he's just going from side to side. Nice two-punch combination blocked by Juarez. He's trying to move him up against the ropes. Okay. Martinez send 2 jabs. Come in with the right. Like it. Okay. I like that. Jab by Juarez. Nothing serious. Counter left hook by Juarez. I like how that counter. He was trying to get his timing down there, Juarez. Martinez stepping in. It landed off the top of the head, but not really too much damage, though. I like that. He's thinking in there, making adjustments. Touch jab by Martinez, stepping in. Nothing serious as Juarez exits on the pivot, resets. Easy. See, what I see from Martinez, he's throwing a touch jab out there with nothing behind it. He's trying to gather data from Juarez and it's not working. But on the inside, like he's doing now, he's putting in work. You know what I'm saying? He's putting in work. He's active. Very solid energy. Once you get him on the inside, he's a terror. If he had power, he'd be lethal. Okay. Let me see if Clancy's gonna call this a knockdown. He's not gonna call it a knockdown. Okay, that ends the round. What's going on with you, Reggie? What you been up to, man? What everybody up to? I know y'all waiting for the big fight this month. You know, WBC crown holder Deontay Wilder, man, going in there for his 11th defense out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama, going in there with a rematch against the one and only Tyson Fury. You know, they here to settle differences. And what can be respected from Deontay Wilder is that he said, I wanted to go back in there with the guys who somewhat have a little bit of controversy in who I faced. I want to right the wrong, so to speak. Even though he didn't lose, he said, I want to seal it down and have people with no compunction that I didn't get the job done. So he did it with Bermain Stavern. He went back in there with Luis Ortiz, finished him in the last fight, 7 rounds, and now he's stepping back in there with Tyson Fury. Why? Because the two had a draw, and some said Wilder won, and others thought Tyson Fury won. This is going to sell it at the MGM Grand, the 22nd of this month. We in the 5th frame out of 8. It's a shutout by Juarez, and easily so. Martinez's game. I like that step, that counter as Martinez was stepping in. I like that check left hook. Like that. He gave the counter right hook that time, but he stayed on the ropes instead of pivoting out. See, Martinez ain't playing on the inside. He's roughing them up right now. Martinez just pushed him to the ropes. Martinez looked like the smaller fighter, but he has some Tasmanian in him. He's a tough fighter, man. That experience is showing. You can tell Martinez has been in some very tough fights, and he's a tough guy. He just don't have enough power and enough technical savviness to get the job done. Like, he has his moments in this fight, but it's not enough when you have an accurate fighter who's landing the effective shots like Juarez. Just like he doubled up on that hook to the body and came up top. 48 punches to Juarez, to Martinez 21. The only time he's actually active is when he's up against the ropes, him being Martinez. I like that step in jab by Martinez. You know, he has his highlights. 1-2 step in, not much by Juarez with the jab. Let me see. I've been watching boxing all day. Boxing Conversation say, salute my brother D Hodges. Dion say, watch the ESPN Plus card before the FS1 prelims came on. I got off work late today. Couldn't make it to Biloxi. My ticket wasn't nothing but $20, so I can live with that loss. He paid $20. That was probably ringside, huh? With a freaking refreshment. D Hodges and Martinez can't catch him. Yeah, he getting outboxed. Martinez just threw a double jab and stepped in with a right that missed because Juarez pivoted out to his left. I mean, Juarez has some talent, man. He can get the timing down on a fighter like Martinez, but he's gonna have to work on keeping his hands up once he improves his competition. His hands is down by his waist, and he's gonna end up catching that L from being caught on the chin with his hands that low. He's just doing it against Juarez because it's easy to counter. He don't have no threat of power. Ugas. Ugas is in there against Dallas Jr. this evening. So we'll see how that works. We'll see if any of those seats, all that space that they have up in there, is going to fill in. I mean, should this card have been on the main? I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? I would have rather seen Dion Nicholson and Errol Newman on the main card tonight, the cruiserweight division. I know cruiserweight don't get too much love, but that fight right there, see, that could have woke the crowd up, especially those who's filtered in for the main event. If Nicholson and Newman would have been on this fight right here, the crowd would have been absolutely, you know, cheering them on and alert. There's a lot of people on their phones checking their IG, Facebook, see what's popping on YouTube. See, I want y'all to take a look at something. This is what I've been communicating outside of what you're seeing today. I've been trying to get a slot. Look around the ring of photographers around the ring and tell me what you see. And believe me, I've been, making liaison to shoot another card on PBC. If you didn't see, I was able to shoot a couple of fights when the fight was down here in Atlanta, Georgia, of Javante Davis. He stepped in there, Ugas Gamboa. I was very close to being able to shoot that card. It was so packed up in there, but I wasn't able to because the main photographers was there. But I was able to get Malik Hawkins versus Darwin Price. That was on the undercard, and it was cool. So I'm definitely trying to get my slot to start shooting on the ringside. That's fun. And I'm gonna tell you, it's not too many media out here that want to operate a freaking a DSLR and take still photos and do multimedia as far as videos. It's a process to learn how to shoot on manual and create your own exposure. It's just another layer to media. That's all. It's not like it can't be done, but it's much easier to shoot video. Juarez is having a okay. Juarez pushes Martinez back. All right. 19 seconds left in the sixth frame. I had a chance, since we have a fight this. Okay, stepped in with two shots that landed. The end of the round. I mean, easy fight for Juarez. I mean, he's getting some good rounds in. That's all we can say. He getting the work. Dion Nicholson was looking good. He was a little top heavy. I'm ready for him to move back down to 175. He says possible. I just did an interview with him. That may be possible. I'm not sure what his plans is, but he looks solid. Dion, he's all about dropping the hammers up top. You know how that is. He was coming off a first round knockout heading into this fight. You know what I'm saying? He closed his opponent out in one round. So he went in here against a very solid opponent in Errol Newman, man. And it was a close quarters, back and forth, cruiserweight firefight. That's what you want to see in the heavyweight division. I'm talking about the cruiserweight is somewhat considered in the heavyweights. It's in between the light heavyweight and the heavyweight. So it is a heavyweight division. Just because it has a C and a whole different title doesn't mean anything. Hard to say easy work. They have a total right now 60-54. It's easy work, man. Easy work for Juarez, man. Easy. Dion said I talk to him frequently. He wants to come down to 175. Well, I'm pretty sure with his discipline and everything, man, he had no problem dropping down to 175. Now that he's really back consistently into the game, after that hiatus, it'll be good to see him start to drop that weight and show up at 175. Because really, between cruiserweight and light heavyweight is much more of a popular division than cruiserweight is. Period. It's some solid fighters up there at the top in light heavyweight now. It is. There's some solid fighters up there. Thank goodness this is the seventh round. Thank goodness. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it. Always looking for new boxing fans to join. Oh, finally got the first knockdown. Juarez finally gets his knockdown on Martinez in the seventh frame. That was a legit knockdown. All the rest of them was push and everything. So finally, a fighter who's used to taking punishment, he's kind of degraded right now. So, okay, Juarez steps in. He giving him the forearm. You can't do that. Bill Clancy is gonna call freaking timeout. He's warning the wrong fighter. Okay, I guess both of them was putting the forearms up there, so he won both fighters. A person who used to use his elbows a lot is Tyson when he stepped in with those hooks. Feint, a lot of feints from Juarez. He tried to step in with the right hand, missed badly. It looked like Martinez has a cut on the left side of his head in the scalp area. When Juarez wants to turn on the speed, he can. That was a nice, swift 1-2 combination. It didn't hit the mark, but he got off, though. Come on, you got the man hurt. Let's go. I appreciate that. It's going into the final round. The eighth frame is on deck. Let's see. This is. That ain't my boy. Oh my goodness, y'all. Whoa. Hey, y'all ain't gonna believe this right here. Gervonta Davis roll up ready to choke slam Shawty, man. He grabbed this girl by the freak. See, that's what I'm talking about with Gervonta Davis, man. He gonna catch a lot of heat from this right here. He rolled up on the scene, man. And I'm not sure how old this is. This have 180. This is first. So it happened today. Gervonta rolled up and grabbed his girl by the collar. I mean, I'm talking about around the front of her neck. I don't know exactly what she did, but he snatched her up like she was a dude. I don't know if she was there with another dude, but Gervonta snatched her up and took her outside. He snatched her up like, what you got going on here? You ain't playing me like that. I thought Gervonta was dating somebody else. I'm not sure if that's his current girlfriend. But she was sitting next to a guy. The guy just got up and walked off. And Okay. He gonna catch a lot of heat from that. If y'all don't see it, go to Twitter, man. Javante walked in there and snatched that girl up like what? I appreciate that, Dion. And this is the easy one right here, y'all. I would, close out the the eighth round, but this is a shutout. This is 7 rounds to nil right now. Well, those of you that just tuned in, I'm not a gossip columnist. You know that. Those of you that follow me. Oh, the fight ended, so Martinez isn't as happy, but they touched gloves. But it's all over right now. Javante Davis, man, he walked in there and snatched his girl up. So the only thing I'm looking at, of course, I have to assess it from another angle. It's a fact that we don't know if he was there with her already, or Javante showed up and saw his girl sitting on ringside and on the front row, and came and snatched her ass up and took her out the back. But this is what I'm talking about. Like Javante, he can go in there with no credentials and walk down to ringside and do that. No security around him, no nothing. But let a media person try to walk there and actually snap the shot, and it's chaos in that, man. You know what I'm saying? That just goes to show you, it's privilege. If you're a fighter, they can do what they want while they're on deck sometimes. But Javante walked in there and snatched old girl up like it was a dude that owed him money. You know what I'm saying? And we always have a conversation about Javante on how is his greatness going to be established, or how will he cement his entire legacy in the ring, because we can't really give that. We really can't give him that projection because we're unsure on if he's going to get in trouble outside the ring. You know what I'm saying? We're unsure. It's a lot of skepticism on if Javante will be able to hold down his temper and his behavior outside of the ring. Now, of course, this is not just off one incident, y'all. He's had several incidents outside the ring. All whoever's around him, whatever. We're not placing the culpability. Javante is a grown man. He's gonna do what he want to do out of Baltimore. But I'm just saying, myself as media, I really can't sit up here and say, well, he's gonna have an extensive career, because I don't know what's gonna happen in his outside lifestyle. Will he be able to control and be mature enough, like he said he was? Like he said he had his daughter and he was much more mature now. He did tell me that. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those situations. See him on live television walking in and snatch his girl up. As men, I know it's easy for me to go up here and say it's plenty of women that he can get, but I really don't know what that was about. Men, if you got a girl you kicking it with, he might have been giving her money, whatever the case may be. I really don't know if that's his baby mom or his girlfriend he's currently with. We don't know, but you know how that can turn if he feel he's doing something for her and he find her with another dude. I mean, he can just about get anybody he want, but you know what that comes with. You start popping out kids, all the money you make in the ring is going to go in her pocket. Dion said Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano have agreed to terms for March. I'm gonna talk about that. That's a good point, man. Hold on for a second. I'm back. I'm back. So to caveat off what Dion said about 7 division champion Amanda Serrano, who's just coming off a win. Yeah, I've heard the APs out there that Amanda Serrano is going to step in there with Katie Taylor, who's 15 and 06 knockouts. The one thing about these female champions or what have you, and that goes for Clarissa Shields too, is that it's all going to depend on their boxing. Also, Heather Hardy, it all depends on their boxing. We just seen a difference. Okay, hear me out. We just seen a difference in Franchon the Zone Cruz the Zern stepping there with um Jimenez. I forgot her first name, but anyway, we seen her be able to take some punches from a pretty decent fighter like Franchon, okay? And we was kind of curious as to the size, the muscularity, and everything else about Jimenez. And just to mesh it all together, what I just said, you know, Katie Taylor stepping there with Amanda Serrano, neither of them really have that solid power. So it's going to be who can outbox the other. And you know, Katie Taylor, in my opinion, she actually lost. In my opinion, she was gifted that fight. I think it was against Delphine Pursoon, I believe. She got a majority decision. I might be wrong, but I was like, I wasn't impressed with her, her performance too much. She's 33 years old, man, so she's really on the clock. So for her to potentially sign on to face Amanda Serrano, a fighter who is going back and forth between boxing and mixed martial arts, I'm just curious to see where this fight is going to take place, man. Amanda Serrano is 38 and 1 and 1, 28 knockouts. You know, she has 28 knockouts to Katie Taylor's minimal 6. I'm just curious to know where this fight's going to take place. You know, Katie Taylor is 15 and 1. Amanda Serrano, 38, 1 loss. And that 1 loss came to Frida Wahlberg back in 2012. So she has a pretty decent winning streak from 2012 all the way to 2020. She's coming off a victory over Da Silva January 30th of this year, a TKO victory in Island Gardens, Miami. But look, check this out. Her opponent was 17 and 14. Somewhat like what we just seen with Martinez, who was 19 and 18. But look, how are you going to come off a fight with Heather Hardy, 22 and 0? You know what I'm saying? And then go to a fighter who's 17 and 14. That shows you how dense the female boxing divisions are. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, they're starving for a superstar with power. Like, Clarissa Shields is a superstar with technical boxing prowess. She has the boxing EDU and elusive and the cleverness. You can tell she's been paying attention in the gym with, the Shakur Stevensons, the Andre Wards, and a lot of other male fighters that she boxed with. You can tell she's been having fun in there, practicing on her defense and everything. And seeing her in there against Ivana Habashin, one thing she showed is that she can box, as always. But I liked her performance against Christine Hammer better than I did against Ivana Habashin. That's just my opinion. I think she looks sharper against Christine Hammer, in my opinion. And it just seems like she was able to hurt Christine Hammer more than she did Habashin. Yes, she was able to drop Habashin with a body shot, but I'm talking about, it just seems like she was much more authoritative in there against Christine Hammer. But anyway, as I was trying to say, it's like, when are we going to get the Ann Wolf in this modern day boxing? When are we going to get that Ann Wolf back? You know what I'm saying? When are we going to get that fighter, that female fighter like Ann Wolf, and come in here and close distance like she did against Vonda Ward? Pow! She walked her in. She set that up nicely. Ann Wolf reset just enough distance so Ward can walk back with her hands up, and Ann Wolf shut her down. She just basically caught her on the half beat and landed that overhand right, knocked her out. It's done, over. Next is Raymond Guadrado. I mean, here's another fighter that's 5-0 undefeated. Very new to the sport of boxing. I mean, the one thing they have going for them is an unblemished record. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure how this card, who actually made this card. Like, his opponent is Clay Cowards, and this is a super welterweight. He's 5-2-3, fighting out of Las Vegas, and his nickname is Cassius. Okay. All right. D Hodges shield easily. Deontay Tank got to stop being stupid. Guajardo, he's coming out. He's coming out. Tito. I'm gonna call him Tito. He's coming out fast though. I like what I'm seeing with him. He's going in here to lighten up the crowd a little bit. This is a 6-round fight. Oh man, he need to put his hands up. He's gonna get knocked out. He's going full speed, mano a mano, no defense. He got knocked down. Oh, he knocked down the undefeated fighter. Collier knocked him down. Well, I was just telling you, he need to put his hands up. He's just in there punching. He's not even going to the body up top. He's not even freaking returning back to his defensive posture. Collier just hit him with a nice right hand too. Oh, nice 2 punches up top. Solid. Collier's showing his experience, though it's very limited. He's showing his poise to an undefeated fighter. Oh, nice connection on there up top. Now Tito is beating his chest like, come on, I'm tougher than you. I'm built for this. Collier knocked him down again. Oh man, he about to take his first L. You fighting stupid. You fighting like you don't have no common sense that you got an undefeated record on the main card. Oh, he catches Collier and knock him down. Wow, just what I was calling this man off. Like, damn, Collier steps in reckless and get caught. Oh, Collier land another 2-punch combination because Tito has no defense at all. This guy he reminded me of Ryan Garcia when he stepped on the scene. Collier digging. Collier is digging. He's about to stop this kid, Tito. Tito refuses to put his hands up. He's stopping him. The ref about to call the fight. It's close. It's close. Tito's hurt. His nose is bleeding. Collier is landing. Oh, he's about to stop this fight. Tito's about to take his first L. Collier's taking a breath. He's assessing. Oh, he steps in with a 1-2. The ref about to stop it. The ref about to stop it. He's about to. Oh, he keep letting him go because he's undefeated. You about to take this man's life, yo. There you go, finally. Man, don't get mad at Collier. He's giving you a chance to stop the freaking fight, and you keep giving this fighter who's undefeated a chance. You keep giving him a chance to kill himself. He was taking too much punishment, man. And I don't want to say it because it's a Mexican referee in there. But come on, man. You got to stop the fight. Dude was taking flush shots. I just turned from a fight in Tunica, Mississippi, where this older fighter stepped in there. His dad was a previous world champion. They come from a fighting family. He stepped in there against a young gun and got demolished. I felt bad for him because I was back in the dressing room where he was talking to his girl before the fight, and the mood, in my opinion, he didn't stop the fight. They just ended the round. Oh my God. He better thank that referee to the fullest if he come out here and not call it out. Wow. Look at that referee. He's trying to give that Mexican fighter a chance. Seriously, the dude has an undefeated record. Of course, he's trying to make sure he keeps it. But this guy has absolutely no awareness of vigilance to whatever gym he's training out of to work on the fundamentals. Now he has his earmuffs on, and he doesn't even know how to cover it up correctly. Collier is throwing hooks around his guard coming in through the back. This fighter doesn't even know how to properly protect himself. Every combination that he attempts to deliver is to the body. It's almost like in a schoolyard when you're a kid. He doesn't even know how to throw jab off the lead. Like all he is used to is throwing combinations to the body. He is taking punishment. Damn. He's digging though. Tito's digging. I ain't gonna lie, he's digging, but he's taking mad punishment. Oh, 3 hooks, and the ref not even stopping the fight, bruh. He's gonna get this kid killed, man. This kid is taking extensive amount of punishment, bruh. That is too freaking late, ref. You up here trying to save that man's undefeated streak and let him get beat to death. You know what? That's how fighters end up on a stretcher, man. For real. You just seen it right there. You just seen it right there, man. You got a Mexican referee. I don't give a damn what nobody talking about. He tried to give that kid the benefit of the doubt because he had an undefeated record, and he's up here taking flush shots to the head. He's taking extensive amount of punishment. Dude ain't gonna be right for a minute. Of course, for Collard, it's the biggest. I won't say it's the biggest win because I haven't really taken a look at his record, but I'm just telling you that stopping a 5-0 fighter like Tito, it's a good win on his record. They failed that kid. They failed that undefeated prospect. The reason they failed him because somebody didn't drive home the fundamentals of working behind the stick. That dude, every shot he threw, it was a combination to the body. Like he was fighting like he was in a schoolyard. Anyway, D-Hawk won 2 gold medals, champion in 3 divisions, man, undisputed 2 at. What you talking about, Hodges? You talking about Clarissa Shields? Like, what I was the narrative, the point I was trying to make, Hodges, not the best female. I'm talking about a female fighter, a woman fighter who has boxing skills with power. Clarissa Shields is undeniable. She has the accolades as one of the best of this era, hands down, point blank, period. The double gold medal standard, nothing anyone can take away. If you're going to highlight Vasily Lomachenko, you got to highlight Clarissa Shields. And for her to pick up a championship in her 4th professional fight, and then become 3 division champion in her 10th professional fight, 10-0, she's absolutely has a point in saying, she's the greatest woman of all time. Now, we also have to identify this also. What are we looking at when we see Amanda Serrano, who's 7 division champion? Is the quantity going to outweigh the quality? You know what I'm saying? Because what we can say on both sides is the quality for which they did it. Was it quality opposition in 7 divisions for which Amanda Serrano? Was it strict accountability in the quality of opponents for Clarissa Shields? How do we balance the 2 fighters and their body of work and accolades? Do we take the 7 division champion, being that she's in a class of her own? And also, do we look at Clarissa Shields, 3 division champion, undisputed at 160, unified at 168? I mean, come on, man. Come on. She's in a class of her own. And that's the debate that she will have to, that moves her to the front in that particular status, because Clarissa Shields was able to earn 3 divisions quicker than male or female. I repeat, she was quicker to earn 3 division championship, male or female. That means she's in a class of her own. But then again, we move over to Amanda Serrano, who's in a class of her own with 7 divisions, just like Manny Pacquiao, 8 divisions. Which one holds the greater value in the eyes of all around credentials? It's always going to be up for debate. And right now, Clarissa Shields is going to win that. You know what I'm saying? She's going to win that. She just is. Even though 3 is less than 7, you're going to have to include her double gold medal standard in the Olympics. It's a lot that you have to mesh together. Arguably, right now, for anyone who's tuned in, I'm going to tell you right now, Clarissa Shields is a Hall of Famer. You might say, hell no, but you can say what you want to say. But right now, Clarissa Shields, with what she's accomplished in the sport of boxing in the women's division, she's a Hall of Famer. Right here, right now, and she quit boxing today, Clarissa Shields is a Hall of Famer. Period. I'm not sure how long it'll take her to get in the Hall of Fame, but if you're looking at someone who hasn't taken the easy road and she's established herself as an anomaly, She's unified the division. She's won a championship with just 4 pro fights. And she's a double gold medalist. If she retired from boxing today, she would absolutely be a Hall of Famer. It ain't no doubt about it. A lot of people will frown upon it. They will sit up here and try to say, well, did you hear what so-and-so said? A lot of people don't like Carissa Shields. As media, it's not about who you like. Media is supposed to be somewhat neutral in a sense. But I'm telling you, really, I could care less what anyone wants to say. If you look at Amanda Serrano, if she retired today, she's a Hall of Famer. Period. Period. 7 divisions. How many males have won 7 divisions? Manny Pacquiao sits in a class of his own right now, people. D. Hodges says she's better. She's undisputed. Once you've seen the bloody nerves, it was over. You got to beat every champ to become undisputed. Well, I will tell you this, Hodges. Sometimes the belts are vacant. We know that with Crawford. We know that with a lot of people. Like, some of the belts for undisputed is vacant. Just like Vasily Lomachenko fought for the vacant WBC, Luke Campbell. He fought for the vacant title. Only thing he had to do was wait around for Richard Coleman and Teofimo, and he could have fought for the IBF, and he was legitimate, had claim to winning the lightweight undisputed title, but he vacated and he became a franchise pundit. You know what I'm saying? Some of those undisputed titles are vacant, especially on the women's side of the house. Show the fight, please. Show the fight. Anthony Rodriguez, what's good, man? Salute to you. Thanks for dropping in. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna spin you up on game there, Anthony Rodriguez. All right. Even though this fight is free, if you look back on some other lives I might have had, I have actually streamed the fight for Fight Night. Okay. Because that's what I wanted to do for the supporters. Absolutely. And I said, the fight is free, right? So it shouldn't be no problem. And then you have people who report the content. You have individuals who report the content and get you freaking kicked off and get your content removed because you up here streaming a fight for the boxing fans and the boxing media and everybody else supporters who's tuned in. And then you have people that will report your content because it's on PBC and Showtime and the fight is free, and they'll report your content and get you kicked off Facebook and get you punished on YouTube. That's facts. That's facts, man. I would have been showing this fight tonight. Seriously, I would have did. I did it before. And then all the way up, I go over there, my live is down, and they tell me I violated whatever, and I'm kicked off for 96 hours. Yeah. D Hodges say undisputed. That's what we want. And welterweight, heavyweight, etc. Absolutely. She did it like Bud, but he get no credit for it. Yeah. Man, I totally agree with you, bro. Like Terrence Crawford, I hear this all the time. And other media segues, and I'm not knocking them. Media is media. You're gonna have people that rock with you, and you're gonna have people that don't. But when it comes to Terrence Crawford being a 3-division champion, and they saying he stepped in here and fought Jeff Horn. Jeff Horn was his first fight. Jeff Horn was undefeated when Terrence Crawford stepped into welterweight. Okay, Terrence Crawford was able to be undisputed. And congrats to Terrence Crawford getting that done. But people say, oh, he fought vacant this, vacant that. They're always going to give him slack, man, because it's the male-dominated sport. Period. It's a male-dominated sport. And they're going to always lay more scrutiny to the male side. and they're just not going to care about the female side. The females can go out here and do what Carissa Shield and Amanda Serrano has accomplished, and then people still frown upon it. I've heard it. I've been in freaking dialogues and boxing conversations about individuals who just didn't give women no credit. They say, man, forget all that. Look at the competition. Even the women that's considered the great boxers, you know what I'm saying? Layla Ali and all them, Ann Wolf and Christy Martin. If you look at their record, I mean, you have to look at some of the competition. But back in their era, they was considered star pupils. They was considered popular in their own right. You know what I'm saying? You look at Layla Ali retiring at 24-0. And when you look at her body of work, people are gonna say, okay, all right, and then they're gonna say, I don't know about that. But she's one of the best women boxers in our history. And so I know the back and forth has been going on between her and Carissa Shields. And unfortunately, that's like that with even on the male side. You're not gonna always get respect from the new school fighters to the old school fighters. That's fact, y'all. But to get back to what Hodges said, Terrence Crawford, welterweight resume to all the freaking casuals should never be compared to Errol Spence. Errol Spence came in at 154. He fought about 3 fights. And then his next fight, guess what? He dropped down to welterweight. I mean, he came in at junior middleweight, 154, and then he dropped down to welterweight. Since then, it took Errol Spence several fights before he stepped in there with Kell Brook. He won the title from Kell Brook, who won it from freaking Sean Porter. So we all know what happened with that. So for anyone to compare Errol Spence's body of work at welterweight to that of Terrence Crawford, really need to fall back a little bit and understand what you're talking about. Because right now, Terrence Crawford boxing career holds a higher grade than Errol Spence. I don't know what more to tell you. Errol Spence is a WBC and IBF welterweight champion, but Terrence Crawford is a 3-division boxing world champion. How can you take the quantity in this particular scenario and say it doesn't supersede that of Errol Spence? It does. It does. But for the women's side of boxing, we got Amanda Serrano, like I said, 7-division, and Carissa Shield, 3-division. We really have to look at what's going on here. It's very complex. The only positive equation that we can bring to light is that both of these women will be Hall of Famers. They are Hall of Famers. Point blank, period. And Amanda Serrano about to face Katie Taylor, it really doesn't do anything. Seriously, it's just a top tier opponent. It's undefeated, and that's what it is, y'all. I'm just being real. I'm just being real. I'm not overly impressed with the way Katie Taylor goes in there and fight. I know that's Carissa Shields' friend. It's all good, but I call it the way I see it. You know what I'm saying? She's just not that impressive to me. She may be undefeated, but it's a fighter out there that can give her the business. You know? The good thing about Amanda Serrano fighting at featherweight is that it's out of reach of Carissa Shields. That's why you see them taking a picture together. Amanda Serrano don't want any of that Carissa Shields smoke. She's fighting at featherweight. She don't want to try to move up. I know Carissa says she can move down to welterweight, I think. But Amanda ain't trying to go nowhere near junior middleweight to prove a point. She's not even going to think about that. I don't care how good she's feeling out the happy hour. She ain't going to goddamn go up there and test those waters against a freaking shark like Carissa Shields at 154. I was hoping her and Hannah Gabriel can run it back. And Hannah Gabriel was the first to sit Carissa down, her and her mouthpiece. But once Carissa Shield rose off the canvas, there was no hesitation. She went right back to work as if it was transparent. That's the respect you have to give Carissa Shields. She has that dog in her. Even though she's not a power puncher yet, it doesn't mean she can't be. She's still young in the game, man. And the only bad thing I see about her career right now, Carissa Shields, is her finding more work to staple to her boxing accolades. She's did so much early. It'll be good to see her cross over in mixed martial arts. I mean, hell, Amanda Serrano do it. She's not very skilled at it. Heather Hardy do it all the time. Out of the two, Amanda Serrano and Heather Hardy, I'm gonna tell you point blank, man, I got mad respect for Heather Hardy. I seen her catch a kick to the face, and she kept fighting in when her nose was absolutely destroyed. Heather Hardy is tough as hell. And I'm just curious, if Carissa Shields, if she can take that punishment. If someone kicked Carissa Shields in the face, is she's going to be able to take it? Because I know she's coming from Flint, Michigan. I know she's been in some fights in the street. But what I'm trying to tell you is Heather Hardy and Amanda Serrano has already fought mixed martial arts. Why people making a big deal about Carissa Shields crossing over fighting potentially Amanda Nunes? It's no big deal. If you want to go in there and fight Amanda Nunes, go ahead and do it. But it's been women who cross-thread from boxing to MMA. The only thing about it, I would have to say Amanda Serrano, she has, modest ground game. She has enough to get her through a match with that level of opponents. And so does Heather Hardy. That's all I can say. I mean, it's no big deal. The one thing about Carissa Shields, what people have to understand, Carissa Shields has fought higher. She's fought at the top tier of 168. Amanda Nunes, her highest division is 145 featherweight. Featherweight, when you're talking about mixed martial arts, the boxing is different. It's a different weight scale, y'all. It would be good to see, like Heather Hardy, her only loss came to Amanda Serrano, right? We all saw that last year. But Heather Hardy fights at featherweight. I would say, it'll be good to see somebody like Heather Hardy face Carissa Shields in a mixed martial arts fight. The reason being is both of them are active fighters, and Heather Hardy just lost her belt. So she's 22-1 with 4 knockouts. Carissa Shields is 10-0 with 2 knockouts. Okay. So what I'm saying is, if they was a little bit closer in weight to have like an exhibition mixed martial arts fight before she goes over there to face Amanda Nunes, because Amanda Nunes will destroy Carissa Shields with the skill set that she will have even after a year of practicing mixed martial arts, period. Amanda Serrano is lethal. She's the GOAT over there in mixed martial arts in the UFC. Can't nobody fade Amanda Nunes right now. I don't care what you're talking about. She's a freaking bantamweight champion 135, and she's a featherweight champion at 145. Forget what she did to freaking Ronda Rousey. We had already seen Holly Holmes destroy Ronda Rousey. It's what she did to Holly Holmes recently. What she's been doing to freaking Valentina Shevchenko. Real talk, man. That's what needs to happen, just to kind of give them an understanding, to give Carissa Shields an understanding of what mixed martial arts is going to be like. So I recently seen a video where Carissa Shields is basically saying, okay, you get Amanda Serrano over here and I knock her out in 2 rounds or whatever round she said, right? In boxing. All right. I'll say this again. If that fight go down in boxing, I really hope the ones who's tuned in right now have their cash app. Because for those of you that's sitting in here believing it's according to what weight they're going to be at, I would have to say they're going to be at 154. Because like I said, Amanda Serrano's highest weight is featherweight, which is 145 in the UFC, right? And we all know what the featherweight division is over here in boxing. But if you think for 1 minute that Carissa is going to knock out Amanda Nunes in 2 rounds, you're sadly mistaken. These are women who are taking kicks to the head, elbows to the head, being placed in submissions, have been choked unconscious in practice doing mat time and their jiu-jitsu mat time, with different freaking what's the word they use over there in jiu-jitsu? Well, you got to switch up your grappling partners, period. So if you take that in consideration of what she has to endure with 4-ounce gloves and you bring over here the boxing, she's taking more punishment than Carissa Shields has in boxing, period. Carissa only had her Olympics and she's had her professional fight career of 10 wins. If you bring over Amanda Nunes with Carissa Shields with 2 knockouts, I'm telling you, she will not knock out Amanda Nunes in 2 rounds. I bet Carissa Shields herself, she can't knock Amanda out in 2 rounds. She can't. She won't. Now, if Carissa Shields was to go over to mixed martial arts with 5-minute rounds, and this is where I'm getting into the layers, right? And then we're going to get back to boxing. This one I'm going into the layers of covering boxing and mixed martial arts. In mixed martial arts, the rounds are 5 minutes apiece, y'all. You trying to tell me you're going to run around the ring, around the cage for 5 minutes against a fighter like Amanda Nunes, vice Amanda Nunes coming into boxing in the women's side for 2-minute rounds? Amanda know how to survive in 2-minute rounds, y'all. Real talk. That's all I'm going to say about that. D Hodge undisputed. That's what we want. I read that. People don't do that when it comes to that fight. They leave divisions or drop belts. Canelo, facts. Yeah, Canelo has been the one recently who's just been dropping belts, man. I would say I don't blame him. Like when he knocked out Rocky Fielding in the 3rd round, that was easy work, man. He dropped the belt. He said, okay, I got better things to do. So I will tell, once again, this is just my OP. When Canelo stepped up to light heavyweight, fought Sergey Kovalev, you don't come tell me that was a legit freaking knockdown to finish the fight. No, I know. I've seen Kovalev fight in person. I've seen him take punches that was harder than Canelo Alvarez, who's moving up to the division for the first time. It's no way that you're going to convince me that what he was able to land on Sergey Kovalev caused him to get the knockout. No, man. Hell no. That was that boxing. That's that boxing venom that we know from the past. That's that Bruce Seldon venom that we seen that made his legs get wobbly selectively. Anyway, we have 3rd round of Rivera and Maldonado Jr. Don't get me to talk about mixed martial arts and boxing. I'm just telling you, if you got 2 rounds in women's boxing, vice 5-minute rounds in the UFC across the board now, the men and the women have 5-minute rounds. And the women in the boxing, men and women, is different. It's different from a minute. Amanda Serrano can survive 2 rounds 2 minutes like what? This is easy work, yo. This is nothing. You trying to tell me to go over here with boxing gloves and put on heavier gloves and I can't survive? You trying to tell me I get more cushion to cover up my face with no takedown attempts? And that's another thing about hips. We know Carissa Shields can get off combinations, punches and bunches. We know that, but she's not a power puncher. And Amanda Serrano has felt kicks and punches from 4-ounce gloves. Shins don't have cushion. Shins don't have wraps. It's bone to bone, y'all. Period. Just ask Daniel Cormier when John Jones kicked him over his guard when he thought he was kicking a mid-level and he went over the top of Daniel Cormier guard and clipped him in the top cranial over the right-hand side. And he stumbled against the cage and John Jones closed it out. That's real. That's why I'm saying Amanda Nunes can possibly go 10 rounds with Carissa Shields. That's pushing it. I don't know how Amanda Serrano's cardio would be, with a pace that Carissa Shields will put on her. But no doubt about it, I feel that Carissa Shields can defeat Amanda Serrano in the ring. I mean, Amanda Nunes in the ring. Can she knock her out in 2 rounds? I don't know. Can she work up to a 10-round fight to stop Amanda Serrano with her boxing prowess? I truly believe she could. Period. I believe she could. But once again, I'm very skeptical and actually wholeheartedly agreeing to that scenario because of who Amanda Nunes is, what she's been through in her freaking mixed martial arts career, and the winning streaks that she's been on. I mean, I think the last fighter to defeat Amanda Nunes was Jessica I believe. So, she's been in there with some tough opponents. Let's see. She better not go the UFC. Shields is over. KO or submission. The one thing about mixed martial arts fighters, just like when James Toney stepped in there against the wrestler Randy Couture, previous champion, is that the referee didn't allow James Toney to take an extensive amount of punishment. And Randy Couture was smart enough to understand that James Toney still had punching power to knock his ass out. Hands down. He understood that. He was intelligent enough to process that data before the punches was thrown. And he said, James Toney can knock me out. With 4-ounce gloves, okay. That's why he went in for the takedown, put Toney on his back, and he basically played with his food. And he landed some punches here and there, and the referee stopped the fight. They didn't allow James Toney to take extensive amount of punishment. Seriously. They didn't allow James Toney, who was a boxer like Heather Hardy, to come over here and face an opponent and take the punishment that Heather Hardy took. Heather Hardy, look it up on YouTube. She took some punishment, and she still was walking. She was still trying to fight. That fight right there for me, regardless of what Heather Hardy did in the boxing ring, I was like, that's the fight I want to meet and kind of talk that brief mixed martial arts with and say, you know what? You got damn good heart, man. Like you got a reservoir heart, like I don't know what. You tough. That's period. She's tough, man. Amanda Serrano, her MMA game kind of reminds me of elevator music. You know what I'm saying? Like I will watch her fight only if my phone isn't charged and my AirPods is dead. And I have to listen to elevator music. That's it. Besides that, I am not tuning in to Amanda Serrano freaking mixed martial arts fight. She isn't the most exciting fighter, period. Hard to say they both need to stay in their own sport, but boxing is faster. Boxing is faster to an extent when you're just working one dimension of levels of fighting. When you take a mixed martial artist who is used to remaining aware of a fighter throwing a combination to commit with those punches, or a fighter throwing a combination who's coming with a low calf kick, or a fighter that's throwing punches to set up a takedown, They have to be absolutely aware of many other variables that exist in mixed martial arts. Boxing may be faster, but if you don't have knockout power, of course, fatigue can work the knockout, right? But I'm saying if you have a fighter who's been working with 4 ounce gloves and you put 10 ounces on them and you say, go in here and face a fighter like Carissa Shields, who, of course, she can go to the body or whatever. But I'm just letting you know, like, she's going to have to take a breath every now and then. It's not like Amanda Nunes is not going to be throwing punches back. Amanda Nunes is going to be punching back. It's just all about her cardio in handling the pace of Carissa Shields and not fatiguing, because that's going to be her downfall. Amanda Nunes, she can't just take a fighter down and take a breather and push her up against the cage and take a breather. You know what I'm saying? Go in for a single or double leg and take a breather and then work from transitions, off the top and dominant position to side control or whatever she chooses to do. Amanda Nunes freaking ground game is lethal. But in the boxing ring with Carissa Shields, her boxing game is lethal. But the equalizer to that is that Amanda Nunes has taken some kicks to the head. She's taken some shots to the head with 4 ounce gloves. I mean, she's been in there with some punishing offensive strikes that, in my opinion, could prepare her to go more than 2 rounds with Carissa Shields. That's all I'm saying. See, Floyd physical structure is absolutely tailor-made for boxing. I know at the point that he stepped into the cage and he did that, that little short, brief clip and said, "What are the odds? What are the odds?" As if he was gonna step into the octagon or the cage. It was funny. It was just a funny time to see Floyd do that. But to be honest with you, Floyd Mayweather will have to learn how to check kicks. It's not like he's not going to have the work ethic to get in shape, because he's going to be in shape. But Floyd Mayweather isn't the kind of dude. Check this out. Floyd Mayweather isn't the kind of dude that's going to have another dude land on him, practicing jiu-jitsu, practicing working off his back, practicing for a better position, hip escapes, shrimping, leg lock, whatever he has to do, hand fighting from the bottom, chest to chest pressure. He's not going to be, Floyd isn't that guy. He isn't going to practice. The only way you're going to learn jiu-jitsu is mat time. There's no way to fake it around it. You have to go in there and put in mat time. And Floyd Mayweather is not going to do that. That's why you don't see a lot of black fighters in there in jiu-jitsu for some reason. It's black jiu-jitsu practitioners. Absolutely. I see it on the regional level. It is. But I'm just saying, in general, to learn jiu-jitsu, you have to have body-to-body contact. You have to go through the movement. You have to learn the reaction, the 4-point of connection, demarcation lines, center lines. You have to know how to approach an opponent from the up position and be able to try to take them down. Any type of technique that you've been taught in jiu-jitsu, that's what you have to learn. And once you are on your back, you have to learn how to work from that position for a submission. And if you're on top, you also, and wholeheartedly, that particular discipline requires you body-to-body contact, up close and personal. And Floyd Mayweather, with no way, shape, or form, practice that. He has a house full of women, and there's no way he's gonna go home. He said, "You know what? I just finished 3 hours of mat time with a white belt, and he was killing me. I ain't going back." Floyd Mayweather ain't gonna go in there with a white belt in BJJ and take that whooping. BJJ is, man, the most beautiful art you ever get into, man. Anyway, that's good input there, Hodges, for sure. Um, if Floyd went in there against Conor McGregor, man, in mixed martial arts, have I seen a boxer that use stand up win against a fighter who has ground game and wrestling? Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it. Are you going to see it in this era since mixed martial arts has evolved? Not too much. Like the mixed martial arts game has evolved so extensively. I mean, absolutely different. Like you really have to study the game, man, to go in there and make that happen. I'm just saying you can't come in here and say I'm a boxer like this is UFC 1 and 2. You Tank Abbott, Dan Severn. Dan Severn, old school OG. Dan Severn was strictly a freaking wrestler, but he was so freaking imposing that he had hands to go with his striking. You know, Ken Shamrock, he had submission, in a shoot fighting. Ken Shamrock had submissions. But when he ran into Gracie, his BJJ game was not up to par to handle what Horace Gracie was giving him with the gi. Because Horace Gracie and the Gracies, they planned all that. They planned for Horace Gracie to go in there with the gi because that gi was used for submission technique that the other opponents haven't trained. The Gracies have been, they started over in Japan and they learned jiu-jitsu, and then they went back and started BJJ. So a lot of people that's not really deeply educated in how that all started, the Gracie family started BJJ enough to the point where the competitions and the pioneers of BJJ is often talked about where they actually learned the craft from, and it was over in Japan. Maldonado Jr. I seen this fighter fight last time. He's a pretty active fighter. Rivera is ahead though. They're in the 6th round. Rivera has 64 punch landed. Maldonado 29. Hard to say Brock is the man. Let me see. I don't know why this is freaking covered up, but speaking of Brock Lesnar, say Brock is the man, WWE and the UFC heavyweight champion. What I have to say about Brock, I don't have too much negative to say about the man, except he was a juice head. I know that. Seriously, he popped in the UFC, and I'm pretty sure he was on that over in the WWE. I mean, just to break that down. But Brock Lesnar, he did have mixed martial arts accountability. I would tell him that he had his wrestling pedigree, which a lot of freaking, when you was coming up in mixed martial arts back then with Matt Hughes, Frank Trigg, GSP, Matt Serra, who else was wrestling back then? Carlos Newton, all them guys. Wrestling was the big deal. A lot of wrestlers like Johnny Hendricks, they'll freaking take you down and lay on you and throw some punches every now and then. So Brock Lesnar, being he was just a behemoth, he was a huge gargantua of a aesthetic, physically opposing fighter. He came up to the UFC and he didn't do that bad. He ran in the freaking Frank Mir and got subbed with a leg lock. And when that fight happened, I was like, Frank Mir is that educated guy who would tame the beast. He did. And sure enough, Brock Lesnar thought with his power, he can just turn and walk out and slide his leg away from Frank Mir, who is absolutely one of the most educated BJJ practitioners you'll run into. Like he can explain you every move and how to set up moves all the time. Okay. So he subbed out Lesnar, and then of course Lesnar came back and beat the hemoglobin out his ass. You know what I'm saying? And Frank Mir couldn't deal with it. And then I still enjoy my man Alistair Overeem, who I used to watch fight when I was overseas. I seen the real Overeem. It was just at a point where I just didn't have, the phone to take the pictures and all that. But I saw the overring that was freaking claiming he was eating horse meat. But we know he wasn't clean though. You know what I'm saying? But man, they love Alistair Overeem overseas. They love that man. And to see him step in there against Brock Lesnar, I say, man, do Lesnar actually know who he's in there with? And when he started landing those knees on Lesnar, who was just returning to the UFC from a stomach ailment, and he wasn't 100%, that's where Alistair Overeem went to. You know, he started going to that midsection, and Alistair had brutal knees, brutal. In no way, shape, or form is a narrative that can downsize and dilute it at all. Like you cannot even take anything from Alistair's knees. He had some of the best knees in the game when he was early in his career. He ended up freaking kicking Lesnar, knocking him down, and the fight was stopped. I'm glad Lesnar did not return to the UFC because I just don't think his game had improved enough to compete with the guys today in the heavyweight division. Like I see Stipe actually outboxing him. I see Daniel Cormier, same thing. His wrestling is too damn good for Brock Lesnar, and he will wear him down, fatigue him, and stop him. These are 5 minute, 5 rounds, 5 minute, and Lesnar wouldn't be able to mess with Daniel Cormier. Then just say, for instance, he fought Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou has good hard, solid punches. He's a hard puncher, but can he stop the takedown on Lesnar? Lesnar may potentially could have taken Francis Ngannou down. Period. WWE, Mark Henry, the wrestler, went and won the strongman competition. He's the strongest man. Yeah, I looked at that. That's another person I did see. I actually seen him recently. He's a really big dude, and you know what? Those of you that know Mark Henry, he's legit strong man. I know he played that nonsense in the WWE, but Mark Henry actually has put up some solid heavy lifts in his career as an athlete. Mark Henry is the truth. The dude is the truth. No doubt about that. No, we ain't playing around with Mark Henry. He probably warms up with 3 plates. Dude is absolutely strong, and his squat, man, that's just crucial. Hold on for a second, y'all. Rivera definitely winning. Other dude got a chin. Yeah, Maldonado has a chin, man. I can tell. I can tell you that. He just has enough skill set to stay in there with a quality opponent. That's all. He has enough to be good. Yo, he just caught that uppercut though. I like how he's stepping in with that right uppercut. He's pressuring him now, landing some solid shots. Come on, man. Let's see this next fight. Let me just check some right quick. Nope. I was hoping. Okay, this fight's about to end. It's in the ninth frame. It's pretty. It's all right when it comes to competitiveness. It's okay. It's not overly entertaining, but it seems like both fighters have committed to just making it a technical fight. It's not really any dangerous risk being taken. Like every time a fighter comes in, now he's complaining about tape. Like every time a fighter comes in after fame forever in a day, it's really no punishment being delivered once they do lock up. Technically, they're doing well. That was some nice solid punches right now that hurt Maldonado saying. Oh, another nice shovel right hook up the middle. I like that. 42 seconds remaining. Yep. Junior's on the back foot. Oh, man, nice right hand down the middle. And Maldonado he took that well. He took that injection well. He gave him a whole vial of freaking right hand. And if those you just tuning in, you see the guy in the gray suit directly across from the camera. Now he's riding on the ringside. That's JD's champion trainer of Deontay Wilder, the WBC crown holder in heavyweight class. That's JD's over there. He's a licensed judge right now in Mississippi. So you'll probably be seeing him judging more fights over there, which is good to expand your brand. That's the same thing I did. Not just videos, but doing photography along with writing whenever I choose to, and also um, running the website, doing YouTube stuff. But it's only gonna get better, believe me. I got something in the works. Got something in the works, man. It's gonna change the game. Seriously. Can't wait. Hey, next is Ugas and Dallas Jr. Finally, the main event is on deck. I'm happy. Um, those of you that's tuned in, I appreciate it. Hit the thumbs up button for me. I appreciate your support tonight. I am committed to doing these more often, especially with some good fight cards. And we're talking about mixed martial arts also. So just be patient. Tonight, it was it was just that can of lemon juice. After eating peppermint. It was just tart. It just had that different twang to it, like ugh, you know. The odds just said 100 punches at least. We're clean from Rivera. You asked the other fighter, how long is his career going to be intact? Because some of these fighters take too much punishment. Like that previous fighter, Tito, that referee was trying everything. He was acting like a relative, man. He was acting like he wanted to do everything for his relative to keep that undefeated title. He was about to get old boy killed. Looking at Yordena's Ugas highlight reels, I think that'll be a good fight between him and Errol Spence. But let's see how he looked tonight. Hey, did you watch the prelims? They're hard. He was landing on Sean Porter, boy. Who y'all think Sergey Lipinets should fight next? I'd like to say Sergey Lipinets fight Manny Pacquiao. They have Lipinets up in the middle. Mark my word, I think Sergey Lipinets is going to be a champion. I don't know. He might be a regular champion first, but I feel Sergey Lipinets is going to be a champion at 147. He's a tough fighter, man. Very entertaining. I still like the way he fought Mikey Garcia. Mike Dallas Jr. 4-0-1 is making his way to the ring. His attire, black, traced with gold. 4-0. This PBC fight. It's been okay, yo. Let me see what Ugas is going to come out in. There he is. Number 1 in the WBA. Number 3 WBC. Welterweight continue. So he's ranked number 1 in the WBA. Well, shit, why he ain't fight Manny Pacquiao? You know what's crazy? Both of these fighters are 33 years old. 5'9", and the reach go to Dallas Jr. Wow. But those of you on here that was sleeping and had the volume up, wake up. The main event is on deck. Wake up, everybody. Oh, wake up, everybody. 'Cause it's time. Whoa, it's time for the main event. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I said, wake up, everybody. Just wake up. Let me stop that. Your Dina's Ugas. Let's go. Let's see what you got. For those of you who's tuned in, the main event is on deck. And that's why I'll be going round for round with this. Dallas Jr. versus Ugas. This showing Kobe Bryant with Yadina Ugas 2008 Belgian Olympics. Dallas acted with the jab early. Okay. He's a little wild, though. Ugas is deep with the power already. He's coming over the top with that right hand, and it's bound to land sooner or later for damage. Dallas Jr. seemed a bit jerky and sporadic with his foot movement. It might be his style. He's going to get knocked out. Dallas Jr. going to get knocked out. He's a little over compulsive with receiving data from Ugas. Like his feints. Okay. Well, that'll prolong the knockout. Low blow. Hey, Ugas said, I'll slow you down one way or the other. I'm going to hit you low in the cup. So the referee gave him a break. He's taking his time, walking around. Dallas Jr. Now the ref going to call action. Dallas Jr. say he okay, but Bill Clancy say take your time. That's the good in Bill Clancy. That's a man. I like Bill Clancy, man. Bill Clancy be here at the televised fights and also the regional level. That's a lot that he has going on behind the scene, man. You know, I'm not privy to talk about, but I talked to him when I seen him in down here in Atlanta for the Gervonta fight. Dude has a lot going on for real. He's big time. Ugas is busy using that looping right hand. A bit wild to me right now when he should just be settling in against an opponent with little experience. Just use your feints, work the jab, stop coming in with the two. He's trying to step around with the left hook. Okay, pop the jab out, but not for any damage. Then went to the belly button with it. Another one to the break basket. You know, Dallas Jr. just stepped in with a right hand. You can see that from all the way back in the back row, you know. He needs to start setting that up behind his jab. He's going to get knocked out. But he got the shot on TV, though. I ain't mad at him. I like that. You was try to come in with a sneaky shovel left hook. Left uppercut. He's landing with that right hand. He hit him again. I'm telling him, he's about to go, man. He's too open. Ugas, he's landing pretty heavy on this guy. I don't know what's going on with Dallas Jr., but he has kind of a sporadic boxing style where he's moving around for nothing. Like it doesn't have anything to do with fainting, but he's just moving around as a fighter. You know, sometimes you see them get in that rhythm, but he's not putting his defense up. Like you already know, Ugas is throwing that overhand right, and he's throwing it really on the GPS system. You can see it forever. But now he's giving you the right hand and then coming up with the left through the middle. It seems like it's easy for Ugas to make those changes against an opponent that's not real. That's not real. I'm not what I'm talking about. Not a real threat at the moment. I don't think this going past 5 rounds, man. Look how Dallas Jr. move his feet. Look how close his feet together. Sometimes he square up to Ugas. Jab to the body, soften them up as Ugas. Oh, I like how he came over the top, Dallas Jr. Try to catch Ugas coming in. Sneaky, crafty. I got you. Double jab by Ugas. 1-2 combination off the gloves by Dallas Jr. Ugas gloves up to his chin, staying poised, drops the jab down low to the bread basket. 1-2 miss, but sweeping left hook by Dallas Jr. Back to doubling up the jab is Ugas to the body, and then come out the break with a jab up top. Nice. Staying active, scoring out the clinch. 3-punch combination by Dallas Jr. No real effect, though. Another 1-2 wild combination by Dallas Jr., who's only minutes away from getting knocked out. He's only minutes away from being knocked out. Dallas is stepping in with the 1-2, but he's missing because he's out. He's outside the range where he need to be. Of course he is, because Ugas is more the power puncher. He's trying to catch him on the counter. Over, he's trying to counter over Dallas Jr. left. So he's trying to come with that right. Now Ugas is coming on the inside, boxing. A lot of close quarters fighting right now. That's what I like about Ugas, how composed he stays on the inside while he's applying punishment. He's not as reckless. But I thought I would see a little bit more action from him, to be honest. But he's fighting well. He's winning this fight. I don't think it's close, to be honest. Yeah, I believe he's going to get a KO, man, in the next 2 rounds. Because he's starting the corner and push his opponent back to the corner and put in that work. The only thing he's going to wait for him to do is throw some wild shots where he leave his whole face open, either hit him with a hook or uppercut. Like that straight right hand came, then he gave him a left hook to the body, step back. I like that step back straight to the chin. Very composed fighter. Very composed fighter. Yeah, Junior get hit too much, man. He has such a sporadic boxing stance. Like, look at his legs. His legs just look gibbery. You know, just look rubbery. You're going to catch him with that right hand counter. I'm telling you, it's on the matter of time. Ugas is going to catch him with that right hand counter. Backing up against the ropes. Comes out with a nice right. Landed off the glove or Ugas. Something about this fight, it just seems like Ugas could pick up the pace whenever he feel like it. It's a 3rd round of 12, so he may be pacing himself, but he seems like he's in pretty good shape. You know, Dallas Jr. seemed like the smaller fighter too. There you go again, pushing up against the ropes, and this is when Ugas is much more active, man. I like how he stays composed with his hands up. Man, this dude is calling every low blow, man. Did he even work core during the camp? Man, dude, you probably saw from him painting Hennessy, dog. Come on, it didn't seem like it did any damage, boy. Man, come on, bro. Oh, they were low? I mean, he acting like he got bubble guts. Nice jab up top. See, when Dallas Jr., I see what he's doing. He'll double up the jab while he close. Oh, nice hard right hand by Ugas. He feel he got him hurt. That's why he's trying to make sure keep the pressure on him. This is the 3rd round too. Come on, Ugas, pick up the pressure, bro. You using them but power shots. You flat footed. Both of y'all pretty flat footed. Besides Dallas Jr., he moving around, but Ugas is fighting flat-footed. Bullseye punches right there over the top. 1-2 connected. Dallas fighting back. I have to give him credit. He looked tougher than I thought. He did. He looks tougher than I thought he would go in this fight. That's the one thing about boxing. There's no template to the structure, the body type, none of that. There's no template. What y'all think about Red Koch's purse being, they remanded his purse to custody because he bit Danny Garcia on the neck. His whole entire purse was garnished. Why would you want to bite Danny Garcia on the neck? It wasn't like the fight was close. Landed 63, the 18 of Dallas Jr. Thrown 162 to 98. It's just Dallas Jr. is being clearly outworked. Side to side movement from Dallas. He is active. He bouncy, but he's out of range when he want to land that power shot. Set it up with the stick, man. You can't just walk in with a touch jab when you out distance. You trying to walk in with a touch jab and then come hard over the top with a 2. You out of distance. You out of range, man. 2 to the gloves. This is only the 4th round. I'm pretty sure Ugas is going to pick it up because right now he doesn't look that overly impressive. He's trying to break down Dallas Jr. with that power. Damn, there you go, Dallas. He said, I don't know who this dude talking about. He said, I'm going to get knocked out. Dallas said, I come to fight, homie. You better get off the ropes. I like those feints by Dallas off the ropes, man. He got Ugas not the commit. Ugas is still trying to throw the overhand right. The second one landed, but the first one didn't. That's his go-to bread and butter right now. Ooh. Dallas put everything over that overhand right. Missed bad. It's the 4th round. You know what? I might have to send Dallas an apology because he can fight better than I thought. I like how he duck under when he in the corner just to create space with his shoulder. Like that. That's smart. Ugas is cut. My phone blowing up on this Tank Davis. Boy. From what I'm hearing, that was his baby mama. Let's get this out there. What y'all think about how Dallas Jr. fight, man? Will he gonna be? Will he be a threat in that division, a welterweight? Is Ugas ready for Errol Spence the way he looked tonight? We're in the 5th round, a minute 30 left in the frame. Ugas, he's just been keeping it solid, easy, clean, simple. Really haven't been going out his way to turn up the pace. Okay. Well, it seemed like Dallas might have been hurt, but no, he was just stumbling into the ropes. One thing about Dallas, when he starts to throw that right hand without a jab, he's out of range. He keeps doing that. He's trying to catch Ugas slipping, but he's far. He's outside the range, man. Yeah, nice right uppercut with a left hook out. Call him on the out. Ugas keep going and jab to the button. I'm not getting the same energy from Ugas that I got from Sean when he was in there with Sean Porter. That is knockdown. That is. It's only a matter of time. It was only a matter of time. They saying it was a push, but it's gonna count as a knockdown. Guarantee that. He behind on the scorecard anyway. I'm looking forward to that John Jones and Dominic Reyes fight coming up too. Looking forward to that Bronze Bomber and Tyson Fury in a matter of weeks. Anybody headed out there that's on here? I see 7 just chilling in the window. Crack it open. Push that thumbs button. Let me know if you're gonna be out there at MGM Grand. Appreciate that. Okay, Dallas Jr. said, okay, I give you that right out. Okay. Get out that corner, Dallas Jr. All right. Dallas said, I'm game. You knocked me down now, so I'm turning up. Turn up for what? Nice 3-punch combination. That's the best 3 punches he landed all night right there. Sneaky coming over the top with that right hand from Ugas. Step to the side, hitting with the left hook. See, always try to step in with that right. That overhand right, he misses because he don't set it up and he's outside his line of fire. It's too far away to connect. Same thing. Dennis Ugas just did the same thing. Ugas. He keep looping in with that left hook. I think Junior may be getting tired a bit. The John Jones, before it's all over with, he may indeed be a part of one of the biggest fights in mixed martial arts history. If Israel Adesanya is able to go ahead and defeat Yoel Romero and John Jones defeat his next opponent, Dominic Reyes, then it may absolutely converge two of the best fighters that's in the sport right now, similar styles, to fight one another. And that's be Israel Adesanya, the middleweight champion, moving up to the light heavyweight division and facing John Jones. Well, I tell you, it will exceed any freaking PPV numbers that's ever been established in the UFC. It will far exceed that. Because with Israel Adesanya, people would go in there, the bed knots and everything else, giving him that momentum to potentially try to, be the one to beat John Jones. Like, he's a very skilled fighter. I myself, I'm a John Jones guy. I do think he'd go to the UFC, even though it's tough not to include the 11 defending champion Demetrius Johnson, or you can say Khabib Nurmagomedov, who's like 28-0 right now. But you can look at two of the GOATs being Demetrius Johnson, who's now one championship, and John Jones. Because John Jones has never been defeated. No man. Matt Hamill was a disqualification. Demetrius Johnson, he was defeated by Dominique Cruz at 135. Okay, back to the fight. I like that. Junior step in, one up top, and then he go to the hook to the body. Still sticking to the fundamentals. Like that. Keep going, bro. He stepped in with that right again, that overhand right. He out of range. They don't have Davis. I mean, they don't have Dallas Jr. winning a round. What do y'all think about the fight so far? Looking at this fight being that right now it's a landslide in the 7th round for Ugas. Ugas. Do you believe that after this, Errol Spence will give him a look? Or he's trying to pull the Sean Porter, you know what I'm saying? Just give them basics and trying to get the fight done, nothing too over the top and get this guy out of here early, just, give him the basics. And then maybe Errol Spence will see it as an easy fight. Which either way, if he's gonna fight Errol Spence like this, you might have a short one. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. Get off those ropes, Dallas Jr. Let's go. 7th round, 35 seconds left. Uppercut. Lead uppercut by Ugas. Paddling the body on the inside. That sweep and shovel lead left hook by Ugas. Ugas. He's really putting the pressure on, and I think Dallas Jr. is a bit tired, mouth open, breathing heavy. He's trying to create space to get that wind back, revive himself. Well, his corners talking about, his corners can't be talking about stopping it. He ain't taking no punishment. They might say, I'm gonna stop it because it don't seem like he's connecting on Ugas though. Well, he's not going anywhere. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought his corner looked at him and said, well, you're taking too much punishment and there's no way you can come back. So they stopped the fight. Pretty much figured that would happen. There was no way he could have came back. He was losing a 7-round landslide victory. It's over, man. It's over. The fight is over. Don't run out the chat so quickly. Give me your assessment of the fight. I know for you fight fans, you don't really have to sit up here and show any interest, but the mainstream is imperious, man. Let's talk about the post-fight reaction. The post-fight reaction, man. Do you believe Yordenis Ugas is ready for Errol Spence with that performance? And what should be next for Demetrius Andrade after that performance he put on the other night? I mean, should he fight Jamal Charlo right now? Do we really want to see Canelo Alvarez face, who is that again? Yoda Murata? Do we really want to see Canelo Alvarez face Yoda Murata? Why is he getting a chance? Seriously, why is Yoda Murata is next on Canelo's list? It's opportune. He's an opportunist, man. Canelo Alvarez. I want to put him in top pound for pound so bad, but he's just an opportunist. He's really making a life for himself with fighting opportunistic fights. I just wish he would face somebody in his division, like he did Gennady Golovkin. Now, we don't want to see a trilogy between him and Gennady Golovkin, but we want to see Jamal Charlo step up and face him. If not Jamal Charlo and Demetrius Andrade. I mean, let's see something in that division. Please. What do you think of you know, Jason Rosario after he defeated Julian Williams? Who should he step in there with again? Should he give him a rematch, or like I've been hearing, he want to take like two other fights before he step in there with somebody like J Rock on the rematch? You know, if J Rock is going to come back from the rematch, is it possible for him to come back and look much more sharper than he did that night? Did he have an injury? Was he not able to train a full training camp due to injury? Because there's no way you can tell me that J Rock looked like the same one who fought Hurd. Not even close. Ugas versus Danny will be good. I think so, man. I think so too. You know, Danny Garcia just coming off a fight with Red Koch, so he's gonna be open. Udenis off this fight, yeah, it's gonna be open. Stylistically, stylistically, that'll be a bad matchup for Danny Garcia fighting a fighter like Ugas. You know, so we'll see, and we'll see if Danny Garcia even wants to entertain that outside of a championship fight. You know, he's all about getting that check. Jordinas Ugas. 3 minutes into the seventh round stoppage. That means he didn't come out for the round. 3 minutes in the round. He didn't come out for the round. So what we were saying about Errol Spence is we're waiting to see how he is. If you haven't seen it, he's been putting video out there looking tremendous, shredded shape. You know, his physique has brought about the childreness of core exercises and a six pack. And we all know Errol Spence is always in shape when it comes to a six pack. Upcoming is Caleb Plant. And then they talk about Wilder Fury. But we always know Errol Spence has had a six pack. He stayed in shape. The question from a lot of us is what is going on with his head area, jaw? Did he break his jaw? Knock a substantial amount of teeth out? Somehow when he was giving the interview with Brian Kenny, it did seem like his teeth, you know, he might have had some temporaries in there. And it was affecting his speech a little bit. But you know, I don't know. He don't want Charlo. The manager said it. That means nothing. We got to see how he fight. Yeah. Unfortunately, we really can't make that assumption with Errol Spence coming off a horrific car accident. And I always look at that. You know, I was talking to somebody the other day when I had my motorcycle accident. And I don't know what was worse because I was on a bike and I was immediately injected off the bike. Errol Spence was in a high end sports car, and thank God for the convertible, no roof, I guess. He was able to be ejected. So, like you said, he has the past. You know, I think he's taken a medical examination. He did pass for him to commence training and get ready for upcoming fight. So I truly believe he's getting some type of dental work in that's going to affect him the rest of his boxing career. Because I know a lot of fighters that attempt to get teeth replacement or veneers or anything, and they get hit in the mouth or they take their mouthpiece out. Their teeth are in the mouthpiece. I've seen this plenty of times with mixed martial artists and bare knuckle fighting fighters. You know, they have the implants, and then of course the implants get snapped off, but they can just put them back on. Dan Henderson, you know, he was one of those people who was missing a lot of teeth during his tenure of combat sports. He's lost a lot of teeth, but he also knocked out a lot of teeth too with that right hand. But yeah, we're looking forward to see Errol Spence get back in there. We're just looking forward for. I mean, you know, before I forget, we was just giving high praise to Gervonta and picking up the title in the 135-pound division and what potential fight that he can face, right? So now we know we have Teofimo Lopez and Vasily Lomachenko coming up in April. It's not nothing too official right now, but it's going to happen, all right? So with the other collector champions that are neighbors in the division, we was looking for who Gervonta can potentially face next. And all we can do is just kind of stay positive that this incident hasn't led to anything more outside the doors of that Coliseum. Because when he doesn't care the camera rolling, he came in there and grabbed her by a collar and take her out. We really don't know the inside details of why he did it. Was it something that happened with the baby? Was it his baby's mom? Was she supposed to be somewhere else and she had someone keeping the baby? Because I'm gonna tell you, you know, what could set him off in that potentially scenario. Tank Davis love his little girl. He do. And if by chance he was out and she's supposed to have the baby, and somebody told him that she's not with the baby, she's out at the fight, then it may have influenced him to go out there and grab her and say, "Where the baby at? You're supposed to be taking care of the baby, not someone else that I don't know or whatever." I'm just putting a little pieces together. I don't know. I'm just coming up with bits and pieces of assumptions, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? They're all assumptions. And we don't even know if it's even close to the radar. But let's hope he gets that stuff taken care of. Devin Haney admitted. I'm switching over to the zone now. Devin Haney was over there on the zone, and he said he was still injured. Not sure as the ETA on him returning back to the ring from that injury, but we really want him to come back soon. Seriously. And then you had Jake Paul in there with Gibbs, and he ended up knocking Gibbs down 3 times in the first round. Now, what I have to say about these YouTubers that are taking up the limelight of boxers, it's a lot that you have to just pay attention to. Like YouTubers, check this out. KSI from that fight with Logan Paul, both of them made millions, right? Logan and KSI, his YouTube subscribers went up to 21 million. The reason why they like KSI, though, he does music and he's whooped Logan Paul's behind twice. The second one was pretty close, but he was able to beat Logan Paul twice and get some YouTube cred. You know what I'm saying? Run the card up a little bit. But it's just amazing how people are tuning in to see these YouTubers fight, man. And they really don't have boxing skills. KSI can fight. That he has, and he has pretty decent cardio. But as far as boxing skills, though, they have a little bit. I'll say that because I did say KSI was popping the jab a lot. And then I have to give it up to Logan Paul for being able to land that uppercut on the inside that really rocked KSI. It really did. So they're thinking in there. They're practicing. I know Logan Paul was with Shannon Briggs. Let's go, champ. Let's go, champ. And he was saying that Logan Paul was going to do all this stuff to KSI, and it didn't happen. Now that Logan Paul's brother, Jake Paul, defeated the other YouTube personality, Gibbs, they setting up a fight with Jake Paul and KSI. And believe me, that fight is going to do big numbers, y'all. We have fighters over here going through the amateur rank, coming up professional at strategic time, fighting their division. And then you have the YouTubers are not fighting except, in an agreed upon weight division. And they're making pretty good heavy bags, man. And people are turning in. They're pulling in solid numbers than some of our champions that's over here in boxing. That's just amazing the way they was able to transcend something such as YouTube over to professional boxing. It's just unbelievable the amount of money that they was able to generate in making that fight happen. Seriously. But, I'm not going to get too deep into it. It's YouTubers. It is what it is. He don't want the Charlo. The manager said it. That means nothing. Got to see how he fight. I'm sad when people were happy about his accident. You had people talking about Kobe Bryant's death too. Just like they was talking about Errol Spence's vehicle incident. And the one dilemma that you always have to put in parentheses, right, is that when it's in time of death, the first thing some of these human beings attempt to do is find something negative on you. So we all know Kobe Bryant had the incident in Colorado about the rape that he ended up selling outside of the court of law. He settled for an undisclosed amount. That he was since long past that. Vanessa stuck past him, and they went on about their life. But the Harris of Disney, she sat up there and said he got what he deserved because he was a rapist. And that was just, rich people not really caring about losing any money on the lower scale of their parks and merchandise, any of that. She just don't care. And she said some controversial stuff in the past, but when you as rich as she is, she don't care about what she say. And I was explaining to somebody how Kobe Bryant then was dropping 2,000. Was it 2,000 feet per second? Now, I was telling somebody the other day about riding in helos, right? When they cut hard right to a 360, hard left, it really sinks you down in the seat. It really gives your back an adjustment. So when you're in a small compartment like that, with Kobe Bryant, 9 passengers, 8 in the back, and they went into this spin, 2,000 feet per second. It was chaos in there. And I was telling them that I can almost guarantee that a lot of those people that was in Kobe Bryant's chopper, they passed out before they hit the ground. Because when your body is placed in a death situation, fatal, and you can't stop it. I've been there. I said this before on the other podcast when I was coming around the bend from doing a stand-up wheelie next to my family, and the bike went into a tank slapper for whatever reason. And I was controlling it. I came up on this curve. That's why I put it down. And it was just this white truck there. And I for sure, when I blacked out, because I was gripping the gas tank and everything, I blacked out. The truck was gone. But my bike was total. Don't know what it hit. And I just remember seeing a bright light. When I came to conscious, the ex was up here trying to help me up. And I said, like, what happened? And she was like, oh, you flipped like several times in the air and you landed face down and you wasn't moving. Of course, I had on my helmet. But what I'm trying to say is I was preparing for impact that day when I was coming around the corner. I saw that big white truck there, and I was preparing for impact. Kobe them, they was preparing for a crash. And at that moment while I was preparing for a crash, I blacked out. I don't remember anything except that bright light. I saw the truck, and then I saw the bright light. I don't know when I saw the bright light, when I hit face down on the ground or what. I just don't know where I seen it, but I did. So with Kobe them, knowing they're about to crash to the ground, and there's no way of them surviving it, I'm pretty sure some video gonna come out sooner or later with somebody gonna say, "Hey, it might have been some screaming on there, but especially the kids probably blacked out, knowing that aircraft was out of control, and the pilot was like, hold on, hold on, hold on, and the aircraft was just spinning out of control." I know them kids on there, they was just freaking panicking. The adults was panicking. And when you close your eyes and try to brace for an impact that is going to be fatal, you may indeed pass out and never know that you're dead. The last thing you remember is closing your eyes, preparing for the impact, and you never wake up. Because that aircraft had a full fuel tank for travel. And when they crashed, that's why you've seen that fire the way it was. And people think that if you crash directly in the ground in a helicopter, your body go left and right and all over the place. Pretty much it goes right where you hit at. Right where that fire was burning and that fuel was burning. So there's no way that Kobe is gonna have an open casket. And I'm not trying to be all technical about this, but you have to be smart enough to understand that if they had a full tank of fuel and the fuel burst into flames once the impact happened, those bodies that was in the proximity of that circle of fire passed. Like they was already dead and they was burned also. It's just a bad situation. That's just tough. That's just sad all the way around, man. Serious. That's just sad. Bring in 2020 like that. I felt bad for Andre. His fight was empty. Everybody left after the YouTube fight. I mean, Andre, his performance might have reflected nobody being in the arena, but Demetrius has to do something to build his brand up. He has to speak up. He has to do something. I know he's been trying to talk up a Charlo fight, but it's a reason why Charlo don't want to fight Demetrius Andre. But then again, who is Charlo fighting? You know what I'm saying? He needs to fight another champion. The one thing I can say about Andre, he has a legitimate super title, does he not? So he should go in there and try to fight Andre, man. Stop playing around. He has a legit title, both of them. Try to unify. And guess what? Whoever unifies, Canelo may look over his shoulder and say, okay. Oh, so we got a unified champion down here. Okay. I might go over there and try to do that. Because we all know Triple G was given the IBF. Sergey Deryanchenko defeated Triple G. That's absolutely facts. They gave Triple G that title to remain relevant, to set up a fight between him and Canelo Alvarez, the franchise chummy. Period. And promoted Jamal Charlo. You have people in there. Jamal Charlo fight Triple G. Go ahead. Let's see that. Go ahead. Go get that IBF title. One of y'all out of those trifectas right there need to go fight. Seriously. One of y'all do, man. Go fight Gennady Golovkin, Demetrius Andrade, Jamal Charlo. Go do something. We need to see something happen in the middleweight division besides Canelo just coming by, driving by, and keep going. And then he come back around the area. Man, he doing what the hell he want to do. What y'all think? He said, I was gonna give Charlo the Darenchenko fight. Okay, so Al Hammond is gonna give Charlo the Darenchenko fight. Now that's another thing. Darenchenko had two slots for the IBF championship, and he wasn't able to get it done. He had it with Daniel Jacobs, and he had it with Gennady Golovkin, right? So he wasn't able to get it done. Even though I firmly believe and sound confident in telling you this, that he beat Gennady Golovkin, but he was given the shaft. Now they move him over, shifting lanes to the WBC. They place him as number one contender, and he's facing a much tougher fighter in Charlo than potentially he's had with Gennady Golovkin. You know what I'm saying? Gennady Golovkin, we all know he's fragilely breaking apart. He's older. He's slowing down, and that extensive amateur career that he achieved is wearing on him. He has miles on his body, so it's going to be a tough fight for Sergey Derevyanchenko. It is. It's going to be a tough fight for him because he's faced Daniel Jacobs and Gennady Golovkin, and he couldn't get it done. Now he want to come over for the upset with Jamal Charlo. And how is he going to pull that off? Seriously, how's it all going to be? I mean, how is he going to pull off the shocker? What he's going to do to defeat Jamal Charlo? You know, we'll see how that happens, man. Somebody sent me a text talking about Kobe 1978 to 2020 and GG 2006 to 2020. Add all four numbers and don't be shocked. I don't know what that's about. People always want you to do something crazy, man. But that's good point. You know, five of you that's looking, and let's get this like up to 10. I appreciate it. Let's even it out at 10. 10 is a good number because 10 allows you to split something 50-50. You know what I'm saying? The value of 10 can make somebody happy or sad. You know what I'm saying? You get that 50-50 up there. Well, let's see what happened, man. I'm not trying to see Demetrius Andrade fight anytime soon. I think he's a very banal fighter, and unless he fight a bigger name that's willing to give him the opportunity, cool. You know, we'll see what he got. That's all we can say. I know his fight this weekend. That whole thing they had going on Thursday, man. I can tell you where I would have been. I would have been in the streets of Miami. I'll tell you that. I wouldn't have waited around for that main event. I would have said, "Where we headed to? What's popping out here? This is Miami. Let's go. Let's go. It's time to walk the strip. Something. I'm getting the hell up out of here." But of course, we have everything else that's taking place with Andy Ruiz and Dillian White. That fight seems to be off now because neither can come to a steady agreement. I'm not sure if Andy Ruiz is trying to price himself as like he has the titles again, and he's trying to make sure he makes the most money possible to pay off the cars he just bought, or you know, get him a van just to load his Snicker bars along under the air condition, so he can have some cold fresh Snicker bars to eat when he come out of freaking boxing camp. And then you have Dillian White, who somehow was able to get rid of the beer sample. I mean the B sample, and clear his name, so to speak. Even though the gloves was jacked up, from his last fight, but that was swept under the rug, and they're still trying to build Dillian White up. And good news, and, I'm kind of happy for him. Jarrell Miller was able to sign. I mean, it's a little bit shocking, ain't it? Like Jarrell Miller signing to a new promotion, and it's puzzling to me. I'm not gonna lie, it's puzzling. I'm not saying he don't deserve it, because boxing, when people say deserve, Let me I'm gonna start putting some comments up here. Let me put this up here. Dion Washington had an comment up here. But hey, people, that's all I got. White still ain't no punishment. What a B sample. Have a good night, bro. Enjoy the show. I'll be back. Hey, everybody tune in. Appreciate that, Hodges. Dion, all you that tuned in for the whole entire freaking fight card. Salute to you. Real talk. Thanks for supporting World Combat Sports. You know, it's an everyday grind. Appreciate the supporters and those who dropped in today. Be sure to smash that like button and share the content. I appreciate it. And subscribe on all platforms. Especially, subscribe on YouTube and follow me on IG. And I'm on Twitter also. And check out worldcombatsports.com. Until then, man, y'all be sure to turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports.